So we only have a couple things left here, and this is all going to kind of lump into what we've been watching / what we're going to be watching. I'm pissed off.
Oh, shit. Who hurt you?
The movies. A movie.
I think I know where this is going. I hope you're pissed off about the same thing I'm pissed off about.
I don't know if we are. I have a new, I think, worst movie of the year.
Really? Holy shit.
Right
Worse
now,
than
I have it
65?
ranked at 27th of 28th, but I am very strongly saying to myself that I think I need to move it to 28th.
What did you watch?
I went to the worst movie I think I've seen all year yesterday.
I can't even. I haven't been to the movies in a little bit, so.
EXPEND4BLES.
Really?
I am so fucking angry, dude. I almost left.
I also hate that you said it that way, but.
Well, that's the way they wrote it.
Anywho.
EXPEND4BLES. And that's basically what this shit is, dude. Like, almost all this cast was expendable. Like, fuck. This is kind of... There's two different things in this episode that have made me, like, I don't have the words. Like, the Halloween thing was tough for me to put into words how I feel about it, in a way. This, I have a lot of words as to why I feel the way I feel about it. But I'm so disappointed with where this franchise has gone. And don't get me wrong, people. Don't get me wrong. I understand that the first movie isn't like cinema mastery. I know that the second movie wasn't cinema mastery, right? These aren't fucking amazing change movie theater for all time movies, but they're movies that like spoke to a generation of movies that I greatly enjoyed. And let's start there, right? The original premise, to me at least, of the Expendables franchise was we don't get enough action movies that are like throwback 90s action movies anymore. And also we've never gotten to see a lot of our favorite action stars from the early action like generation, really. Like late 80s to the 90s and even a little into the early 2000s is like action movies.
Oh, in 90s they had the formula.
Yeah, exactly, right? And you never got to see a lot of those because they were all competitive with each other. A lot of those huge actors weren't doing those movies together necessarily, right?
Yeah.
So the Expendables was a way for Sly Stallone to get all of these huge actors. Can you pull up the cast for the first Expendables? To get all these huge actors into into this action movie and just do a throwback film with little quick clips and humor and things like that, and just kind of go. So what do we got? Just name off a few of the names, the top billings.
Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, Jet Li, Dolph Lundgren, Eric Roberts. Oh,
you have Terry Crews. You have like some of these guys aren't necessarily, like some of them were filler too. But even like the top four there.
Is Steve Austin like the wrestler, Stone Cold?
Maybe. Was he in the original one? I don't think so. Are you even on the first movie? I don't even know that you are.
I think I am. Yeah, that's Stone Cold, right?
I don't have confidence that you're on the first movie. But you are. Okay.
I was 2010. I was on the first
pull
movie.
up the picture for me, like that first the picture there. Did they let you enlarge that?
This?
Okay. Stallone, Statham, Jet Li, Dolph Lundgren, Randy Couture, Steve Austin, Terry Crews, Mickey Rourke, Bruce Willis. Like, they got everyone, man. Now, for exercise, and we'll get to this, pull up the fourth movie and pull up the cast for it.
Is that bad?
It's atrocious. Brother, like, this movie used to be about bringing in all these huge action stars. Like, you added in, like, a Wesley Snipes down the line and an Arnold Schwarzenegger down the line. Like, you were able to add in all these other guys that were huge fucking actors, right? Yeah, you've seen the list. You've seen the fucking list, dude.
The first thing that stands out to me is 50 Cent.
Yeah. And you know who they follow that up with?
Jamie Foxx?
No,
That's
Megan
not the
Fox.
It's Megan Fox?
Dude, they went from oh my god. They went from Jet Li to 50 Cent.
Bro.
They went from Bruce Willis to Megan Fox.
Bro.
You don't even know the other names on that list. Like, Tony Jaa is cool, But like Tony Jaa is just kind of a throwaway character to this like movie, to a point. Like this shit is so soulless. It is such a money grab. It's fucking bullshit, dude.
Jesus
like
Christ.
Nobody cared in this whole fucking movie. Nobody cared. Maybe Jason Statham cared just a little bit, but none of the rest of these fuckers gave a damn about this movie. I'm sorry. And like part of it on top of that, Dante, just to really quickly throw this out there, and this is more of a me and you thing. The Braintree Cinema is awful. The sound in this fucking theater that I was in.
But we knew that.
I know, but it doesn't change the fact that maybe this movie would have been an inch better to me if the sound, like, it was nothing. There was nothing there. The dialogue felt like it was a million miles away from me. There was no, like, I didn't feel like I was in between any explosions. Everything's filmed on a fucking green screen in this movie. Nothing's filmed on real location from what I could tell. Everything is like plastered backgrounds.
It's too apparent.
Yes. Can I spoil this?
Yeah,
I'm allowed to spoil this fucking movie, right? I don't like if 3, 2, 1. If you want to get the fuck out of here, go. I don't like, you know,
Christ.
like if
no, please stay.
If you think that you want to see this fucking movie, get out. You're not supposed to be here. Like, you are not supposed to be here, and I want you all to fucking go back and check my resume really quickly on the type of movies that I love. And if I'm telling you that this is not the movie for you, get the fuck out.
Christ.
Go. Because here's the problem, dude. The movie starts. Cheesy as fuck. Who cares? We get to the first action sequence. They're on a mission, right? Barney, Sly Stallone, drops them all off at this mission. They're all driving in cars. You actually get one scene that I kind of appreciated because I'm pretty sure this was rated PG-13. They had somebody get decapitated. I was like, okay, like that's something. Okay, like that's why they got somebody decapitated. And they don't live up to the R rating. Let's also say that. Because there's like scenes in the first movie where they're just fucking slaughtering people. And it's awesome, right? They have this scene in this fucking movie, though. So they decapitate somebody. They're on this whole road race thing. Sly Stallone's in a plane, like overhead, doing kind of like Overwatch type deal. He's getting shot at. His plane that he's in gets shot, and it's about to go down. So Jason Statham bails on the mission to go try and save him by hitting like the anti-aircraft like thing that's trying to shoot him out of the sky. He goes and takes it out with his car. While he's doing that, this guy with like a fucking Barrett 50 cal shoots the helicopter down. They kill Sylvester Stallone in the first 15 minutes.
Oh, really?
I am like interested now. You've piqued my interest. Oh, like he knows he's old as fuck. Like this is a franchise that in theory you could hand down to other people because there's a whole other generation of action stars that come along, right? That you can add in now. You don't need Sylvester Stallone. He can reap in money from having the idea and making the movies, but he doesn't have to be in this anymore. This is kind of fucking ballsy, right? Jason Statham takes over the lead role. We get a flat, boring fucking movie for the next hour and a half, right? Andy Garcia mailing it in. Megan Fox shitting it up. Fucking 50 Cent lazily making his way through this movie. Randy Couture and Dolph Lundgren trying their best, but Randy Couture can't act and Dolph Lundgren can't save this whole thing himself, right? And then you have Statham just trying to make it through. You get to the end of the fucking movie, Dante. What do they do? What do you think they did?
Made it to the end of the movie.
I almost didn't. What do you think they did? Who do you think saves the day?
Megan Fox?
No. No.
No, don't tell me Stallone came back.
Stallone saves the day.
God. Nobody dies in movies anymore.
I need you to understand the way that they kill him off, though. And again, if you don't want this spoiled for you, get out. Go. Dante, they crash the plane. They find a body. The body's wearing his fucking ring. Like, they're able to identify it's him because of the ring. They do a funeral for him. Like a little ceremony thing at a bar.
Yeah.
The whole premise of why Statham needs to keep going, because they kick him off the team because they blame him because he left the mission. Instead of, like, letting Barney just die, he left the mission. So they kick him off the team. Statham, like, his whole premise for why he's even involved. thrown away because what do they have to do? They tear apart the whole movie. There's no way that Stallone should have lived through this, but he fakes his fucking death, and we'll get to that because there's an issue I have with that too, getting there. But yeah, what a cop out! What a fucking cop out! Because honestly, up to that point, just to be clear, they almost made it seem like they were gonna kill Statham too, and they hadn't gone back on undoing the killing off Stallone. And I was like, well, this could sway me on thinking that this movie has some balls if they kill Stallone and Statham. Right? Because Statham kind of stays behind, does like the hero thing. And you're like, okay, like he's going to find a way to get out. But what if he doesn't? Right? And the only way that he lives is Stallone comes back. Stallone just appears in the last 5 minutes of the movie and saves him.
Yeah.
You get it?
Did they at least play a cool like soundtrack when he came back?
I don't think so. Maybe they played like whatever their like Expendables theme song is. But here's my issue with the bringing back Statham even furthermore, right? So at the very, very end of the movie, Statham asks him, like, I saw the body, like, how'd you do it? And to flash back to the very beginning of the movie, the very first scene of the movie is Stallone shows up at Statham's house and he's like, I lost my ring in a thumb war last night. That's not a joke. Like legitimately like gambling on a thumb war with a person at a bar. Sly Stallone.
Bro.
Sly
Couldn't
Stallone.
even say like arm wrestling. Thumb war?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And he's like, we need to go get my ring back. So they go to the bar, they get the ring back, and they have this fight. Like Statham beats up this person with like this group of people, basically. And one of the guys in it, like they were making fun of the whole time. So when he asks him at the end of the movie, like, well, tell me how you did it. He's like, remember so-and-so from the beginning of the movie? Who is not a bad guy, is not a villain, not a criminal, nothing. Just a guy at a bar who they got into a fight with. Because Sly Stallone welches on a bet that he made. He's like, remember him? Yeah. He switched his body. He brought him knocked out onto the plane, kept him on there because he knew they were going to get shot down. He knew the plane was going to get shot down and that he might need a body to replace his to fake his own death, because the whole premise is that they were trying to lure some guy out of hiding that screwed over Stallone like 20 years ago, but they had sealed the file, and the only way they would unlock the file is that if everybody involved was dead. So once Stallone died, he was the last of the people involved in that mission, and they could unseal the file. So Stallone went there knowing that his plane would get shot down by an anti-aircraft carrier, that a guy would pull out a Barrett 50 cal, shoot him down from the sky. He knew all of this before he went. He knew what was going to happen. So then he takes a completely innocent man, puts his ring onto him, puts him in the seat, jumps out of the plane, and murders this man. And what do they do, Dante? They have a good old fucking laugh about it. They just chuckle about it. So who's the bad guy? Who's the fucking villain?
Okay. I can see you feel very strongly about this. It's still, from hearing your review of it, doesn't sound like you hated it as much as you hated 65.
65 still is 28th on my list.
All right.
This is 27th. It's going to fall to last place. I fucking hate this. I fucking hate it. There is nothing about this movie that was redeemable. There's nothing good. There's not even like Statham maybe has a couple good, like even the fight sequences, they just feel fake. Like there's no grit. There's no like pain. Nobody's really in danger. The only person who gets hurt on the whole main cast, and okay, here's another funny part. There's the scene, you know how on the cover that we showed for the first movie? Yeah. And make sure that's up behind me at some point. Yeah. There's like this picture, this iconic picture of all these major action stars walking towards the screen, right? Or like standing there in a line. They do a scene in this where the whole main cast is walking towards the screen. And can you pull up that just like, okay. And this is the cast that's all walking towards us. Statham, 50 Cent, Megan Fox, Dolph Lundgren, Tony Jaa, some person whose name I don't even fucking know that I've never seen in a movie before. And then fucking Andy Garcia. What Andy Garcia is not an action star. We went from Chuck Norris being a bad guy in one of these movies to fucking Andy Garcia being in this movie.
I mean, some would argue 50 Cent's not an action star either.
No, none of them are. Like, what the fuck was this? I'm done. That's all I had. That's it. All right. You can come back now if you left.
I don't think they know to come back.
You can come back. You can come back in. I'm done. But, like, if you like this movie, fuck you.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
fuck you. If you like this movie, fuck you. Because here, okay, I said I was done. I'm not done.
Oh,
I'm back in. I'm back in. The thing about movies like this is if they are this bad, they should be funny. Right? Here's the difference. This movie, this is one thing I was thinking about while I was watching the Expend4BLES. You have the Fast and the Furious franchise, and then you have this.
I was waiting to hear a comparison on like bullshit from this versus that.
The Fast and the Furious movie knows that it's crazy. It knows that it's over the top, and what does it do? It leans further and further into it every time, right? And I think part of the fear, I suppose, with these movies is they can't spend the budget that the Fast and the Furious has because they're not going to make it back. And the movie producers don't want to lose all that money. I kind of understand that part of it. But you can't make action movies like this and then just have a bunch of people standing around behind boxes just shooting stuff. You can't have a bunch of lazily choreographed knife fights. Like that stuff doesn't really work. Especially when we can watch like so many things that are better now that have amazing choreographing for action scenes that there's no place for this to be made anymore. This movie didn't need to happen. And that's the other gripe I have with it, right? We've already talked about it on here. There's just like this movie is so obviously made to try and make a little bit of money. It's not made for any other reason. It did no good for not a single person in that movie. There's not a person who got made as a star out of that movie. Because, you know, if you really wanted to make it worth something, one of those names that I don't fucking know on that screen, their performance would have blown me away. But instead, what the Expendables does, and they did this with the third movie too, when they brought in Ronda Rousey and whoever else they brought in to be the new guys on the team, they don't give them any lines. They don't give them any personality. They have nothing that fucking matters about their character. There's no scene that you remember them being in that actually made a fucking difference. So they're not even going to be able to go on and do another movie that gets them any play, right? You don't build stars by doing this either. Like this is so clearly in this, like bringing back Stallone at the end of this movie is such a fucking obvious vanity thing that he thinks that this movie's all about him and that he's got to be the most important thing and I can't kill myself off. You're not in Rocky anymore and it's doing fucking fine. You can leave the Expendables. I'm done. I'm done again. I'm out. I'm done. You can come back in again. Doors open again.
Jesus fuck. I don't even think you ranted this hard when you fucking hated 65.
This one's personal to me.
You didn't rant this hard about the ending of Spider-Verse.
This is personal to me, dude.
Okay.
And I stewed for 2 hours in a movie theater. Angry. Hate watching this.
Hate watching. Oh, God.
All right, can you hit us with something you've been watching? I need a second to come down from that. I don't want to be angry for the rest of this.